So Shawn Clement here with a very important program on one of the clubs that you're going to need to set up your score, okay? This is going to get you close to the green on a par 5 and 2, or if you have a long par 4 or the long par 3s, you're going to be using these fairway woods a lot. Now the fairway woods are very, very similar to the hybrids, right? So we'll talk about the hybrids in the next segment, but you'll see that it's really exactly the same technique that we use. The sole plate of the club is much wider than with an iron, right? So this would simulate, remember we talked a lot about skipping stones before, right? Well, I have the ultimate skipping stone right here. So I'm going to take the sole of the club and I'm going to allow it to deflect firmly across the ground. So when I take my practice swing, you heard the sound? So I'm going to allow the sole of the club to really skip firmly across the ground. And don't be afraid to take a divot with this club, all right? So nice wide backswing. The sole of the club is rounded at the back. Because it's a longer club, it allows you a wider arc. The wider arc needs a much longer, wider takeaway off the get-go. So don't be afraid to hear the sole of the club drag along the ground as you go back. You'll hear a nice little friction with the grass. So it's gonna, okay? And that's gonna get you wonderful contact with the golf ball. So, set up the club. I have a target in mind. That's that pine tree over there. So from here, a nice wide backswing and nice wide whipping skip toward that pine tree. Let's see if we can do it. Very solid shot. You could see a nice firm divot after the ball was struck. So the club came down, caught the ball, then skipped across the ground and then came up. You see how wide that arc was staying along the ground. There's the secret to these clubs. When you use a tee with the fairway wood, you want to go all the way down into the ground where just the very top of the tee is showing. Again, the clubs are designed to hit the ball off the ground. So if you tee it up too high, you're going to go right under the ball and your contact with the ball is going to be very bad, okay? So, same position. And because the ball is at that particular height, I'm focused on the same skip across the ground towards my target. So I got my target. I have the feel of that nice skip in my bones, right? Effortless, powerful whipping skip towards that pine tree. Nice balance. Now you notice right here, there's the tee. I caught the ball first, then I caught the ground, then the club continued towards the target. So there's a classic example on how to properly strike the golf ball or through the golf ball with a fairway wood. So here's the difference between a 3-iron and a 5-wood. As you can see, the length of the 3-iron is almost as high as that 5-wood. Every club is a half inch in length and difference. So you're talking about the longest iron in the bag. So the longest iron in the bag is going to have the smallest divot. If you look at the wedge is a much shorter club. Because it's shorter, it has more of an up and down motion. It has more downward momentum. It will take a longer, deeper divot. And because the long iron, the 3-iron, is the longest shaft, if I swing it back and through, you can see that the divot is going to be a lot shallower, right? It's not going to be as deep. So we want to have a very similar approach with the long irons than the hybrids and the fairway woods. So here we go. Nice wide whipping skip towards my pine tree. Absolutely perfect. Nice and straight, extremely well struck. And you can see the divot is very similar to that fairway wood divot, okay? Enjoy that.